So unfortunately I can't be here today, but I didn't want your learning to stop just because I wasn't here. I know you're thrilled. But I want to consider this, and the question that we want to be able to answer by the time we're done here is, why do negative exponents become positive exponents just in the denominator? So we're going to start with an example. So let's actually start with the example 2 to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th power, and that's really just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 16. Pardon my left hand there. So I want to just kind of give you something that's really going to help you as we go through this. And we've talked about this before. If I multiply by 1/2, that's going to be the same result as me dividing by 2. So if you look at this example, 4 times 1/2, that's really like saying 4 over 1 times 1/2 equals 4/2, which is 2. And that's the same thing as me taking 4 and just dividing it by 2. So times 1/2 and divided by 2 is the same thing. Now here's why I say that. So we're going to look at this as a sort of a pattern. So if I have 2 to the 4th power, let's go down to 2 to the 3rd power, which is 2 times 2 times 2, and that's giving me 8. Now, when I move from 2 to the 4th power to 2 cubed, or 2 to the 3rd power, I'm just subtracting 1 from the exponent. And at the same time, it's equivalent over here. I'm really multiplying by 1/2, or dividing by 2, but I'm going to do multiplying by 1/2. You'll see why in just a few minutes. So then if I continue this pattern, 2 squared, that's 4. And as you can see, same thing's happening. I'm decreasing the exponent by 1, and I'm multiplying by 1/2 over here. And I'm just going to continue that. So 2 to the 1st power. Sometimes people get confused with this, but if you follow this sequence, it's not really hard. It's 2 to the 1st power, and if I multiply 4 by 1/2, I end up with 2. If I continue that pattern, again, people get confused with 2 to the 0 power. Same concept though. Subtract 1 from the exponent. 2 times 1/2. Now here's where it gets funny. 2 times 1/2. Well, what is 2 times 1/2? That's 1. Now, here we've reached a point where now I'm going to go into negative numbers. So people, if I ask you right now what your prediction would be, what would it be if I had a negative exponent? Let's see if your prediction comes true. So first off, I'm going to subtract 1 from here. That's what creates a negative exponent, 2 to the negative 1st power. So then over here, I'm going to continue with what I'm doing, multiplying by 1/2. Well, what is 1 times 1/2? Guess what? It's 1/2. I'm going to continue further to make this crystal clear to you. If I continue, so I'm subtracting 1 again. I'm going to multiply by 1/2 again. Now, something interesting happens here. Yes, I could write this as 1/4, or I could write it as 1 over 2 squared. Now, something really kind of cool happens here. 2 to the negative 2 power and 1 over 2 squared, or 1 over 2 to the 2nd power. It's kind of interesting. Let's see if you can see what happens next. So I have 2 to the negative 3 power, again, just subtracting 1 here. Over here I'm going to multiply by 1/2 again. And I could either write this as 1 over 2 cubed, or I can write it as 1/8. So, something has happened. If I have a negative exponent, it is really the same thing as having a positive exponent in the denominator. So let's just take this one step further. 2 to the negative 4th power. Again, I'm subtracting 1 from the exponent, or decreasing it by 1, Over here, I have 4 1/2. Another way to say that is 1 over 2 to the 4th power, which is 1/16. So, as I get to have, when I have negative exponents, I can make them positive exponents simply by putting them into the denominator. Now, I'm going to ask that your next assignment, you're going to go to IXL. You're going to go into Algebra 1. You're going to go to V3. And you're going to practice on negative exponents. Here's my big old left hand. So, IXL, Algebra 1, V3, which is negative exponents. And you're going to practice what we just discussed. Once again, all of this is to say that if I have any negative exponent, for example, if I have 3 to the negative 8, that is equivalent to 1 over 3 to the 8th power. And we're going to discuss this when I get back on Monday. Now, because I'm not here and I know that you are sitting there thinking, oh, I am really bored, so I wrote down a math joke for you. Are you ready? You're not ready. Are you ready? Okay. Here it is. Did you hear about the mathematician who's afraid of negative numbers? He'll stop at nothing to avoid them. I'll let you marinate that until Monday. Have a great weekend.